Welcome to The Explainer. The world is in an arms race, not for weapons, but for talent, specifically AI talent. Today, we're going to break down how the world's top academic powers are training the next generation of AI experts. And that question right there, it's at the very heart of a global race to design the perfect curriculum for a field that basically reinvents itself every few months. I mean, how do you even teach a subject that changes that fast? Okay, so let's dive into this by looking at three totally different philosophies for how you build an AI expert. We're going to start in India, where the approach is kind of like building a skyscraper. The foundations have to be incredibly deep, super structured, and absolutely non-negotiable. It's all about building from the ground up. Now, what you're looking at here is that skyscraper being built floor by floor. Just notice the progression. It starts with the absolute fundamentals. We're talking physics, basic C programming. It isn't until the third or even fourth year that students get to the really hot topics like machine learning and deep learning. It's a very slow, very deliberate build. So think about what this really means. For 2 whole years, these students are just immersed in the deep, deep theory of how computers actually work. Stuff like automata and computer architecture. This isn't about chasing the latest AI trend. It's about pouring a rock-solid foundation of concrete before you even think about putting up the penthouse. And only after that foundation is completely set, way off in the final years, do students get to the summit. And this is where they specialize with electives that are right on the cutting edge. Large language models, generative AI, you name it. It's a very prescriptive step-by-step path to becoming an expert. Okay, now let's jump over to the US. And honestly, the philosophy could not be more different. If India is building that rigid skyscraper, the US is running a chaotic, brilliant innovation lab. It's all about flexibility, choice, and getting your hands on the newest tech as fast as possible. And get this, even within the US, there's no single path. You've got schools like Carnegie Mellon that are going all in with a dedicated 4-year AI degree. But then you have these giants like Stanford and MIT that treat AI as more of a flexible specialty, a choose-your-own-adventure within a classic computer science major. 2 very different ways to get to the same finish line. At Carnegie Mellon is not just about the code. Their curriculum actually makes it mandatory for students to study the human side of AI. You literally cannot graduate without taking courses on ethics, on human-AI interaction, even cognitive psychology. They recognize that building AI isn't just a technical challenge, it's a societal one. Meanwhile, you go over to a place like MIT, and it's all about the research frontier. I mean, just look at these course titles. They sound less like classes and more like active research projects, right? As an undergrad, you're not just learning theory, you're working side by side with professors on the absolute newest breakthroughs in the field. And that research-first model, well, it's exactly what China is trying to replicate. This quote from Andrew Yao, a Turing Award winner, by the way, and a dean at Tsinghua University, he makes it crystal clear. The goal is to compete directly with places like MIT and Stanford at the absolute highest level of research. So, okay, we've got these very different blueprints for creating AI experts, but how does that actually play out in the real world? Where do these students end up, and who is really feeding the engine of global innovation? For decades, if you asked which country sent the most engineering talent to the US, the answer was kind of obvious. But the latest data shows a tectonic shift has happened.